Hey everyone, director of a film called Love Supreme, a dialogue with Xi Jinping. Now it premiered here in Toronto, a dialogue with Xi Jinping. Now it premiered here in Toronto last night. The team went to it. It's a beautiful film, but what it discusses Xi Jinping's history, the history of China from Mao Zedong and forward. Now, the film is controversial because obviously the CCP officials have been advocating against the film. And last night, actually, during the film, it was interrupted by two people, and we possibly even had CCP influences in the audience. But it was a beautiful film, and we'll talk to the director about it, but it's very faith-based, and it's about opposing the fear that the CCP uses, and being spiritual, having faith, that's what's going to defeat the CCP. And it also mentions that Xi Jinping himself, his actions and everything that he's been doing is out of fear. So I'll just introduce you to the director, Mr. Sonata. Maybe you just kind of introduce yourself.
My name is Derek.
Okay, so I kind of wanted, everyone should watch this film, and especially here in Canada, because I do have to say the CCP influence is getting stronger. Canada is creating stronger ties to the CCP, and I myself, I found it educational from someone that was ethnically Chinese and what they lived through. What sort of message would you have to Canadians and why they should watch this film? One motivation of the film is that you describe like Xi Jinping's actions. You know, we've had the Uyghur. I would call it a genocide with the Uyghurs, political prisoners. We've actually had here in Toronto. We actually had he ran for Parliament in our last election. He's ethnically Hong Kong, and he, Joe Tay, if you're familiar with the name, he was actually he was actually the attack of the CCP. I meant they had the former MP, which is closely associated with pro-CCP associations, actually say, grab Joe Tay, take him to the Chinese consulate and collect a bounty on him. And he had to exit from running. So yes, we also here in Toronto, we also have Chinese police stations. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with that, which operate in the middle of the night, and it's really for re-education of people that they feel are speaking too much freedom from the Chinese community. Okay. Now, but my question is you mentioned that Xi Jinping reacts out of fear. Why do you say that?
これは明らかに、彼が彼の中に興味を持ったことについて表しています。
Now, during the film last night, it was probably about 20 minutes into the film. There's two individuals from the audience. They stood up with signs and they say, Hong Kong is a part of China. They're obviously probably paid by some CCP-related group. Maybe within the audience, and then some of the questions that were asked after the movie, it was obviously that they had some Chinese party influencers in there. Now, I've also heard too that there was a lot of attempts to stop this premiere that was occurring, and either by trying to buy up the tickets. There's threats. Now, I do know that there's, I believe it's a the Chinese show that comes through Shenwei, which is traditional Chinese dance, and they tour Canada, right? And they're constantly having cyber attacks, threats of closing, harassment online. Now, obviously, from what we've seen tonight, what sort of harassment have you received about this movie? And you're obviously strong enough. You're keeping this movie going. But what sort of harassment threats have occurred other than what I've seen there?
私はこれは真実ではないと思うんだけども、人の心は変えられると思っているのが中国共産党です。人の心は変えられない。だから人の心を力で変えることができると思ってしまっているのが中国共産党。それがバックグラウンドにあるという浅い姿勢だと思います。
Okay, so everyone, what I will be doing later today is I'm just going to show you a video from last night, from the premiere of the movie, and things that have occurred, what I thought I'd do is I kind of wrap up. So what's next for the movie? Do you think you can get the movie actually shown in China?
It's not realistic, I think.
No.
ちょっとさっきの話を続けているところですね。人間は自分のことを変えることができるんです。これは確かに。だから、自分のことを変えることができることに気づいたら、中国の国は変わるというふうになるんですが、それはもう政治的な何かを変えるとき、政治国家で人間の心が人間自身の心が変われば社会は変わるっていうことに強く言います。それをちょっと。
Okay, and then just one last question: Are you going to have any showings in the United States at all, or from Toronto? Where do you think the next premiere would be?
どこでもやりたいです。世界中でやりたいので、本当にいろいろなところで一つ決まんないと思えてもいろんなことが起こりました。いろんなことを起こしてしまう作品だと思う。だから現実的なゴールは世界への配信だと思います。
And this kind of to finish off. So you're obviously Japanese. Now we see that there's a lot of aggression from China, aggression towards Taiwan, aggression towards the Philippines. Are Japanese fearful of any Chinese aggression in lieu of everything that's happening? How do you feel about it? Is Japan taking extra precautions now? I know the new Prime Minister has increased ties to the U.S., especially militarily.
しかも何十年も進行していて、マスコミの論調とか世間の論調で中国がいけないことだと今まで思われている。こうして時代が変わり、だんだん生きている。 の中で、こういう映画されていて、しっかりと日本人として、中国に対して、批判をしていく姿勢は必要に思っています。
Right. Yeah. Understood.
切り口が、皆さん方、カナダ人がアメリカ人と違うと思うんですよ。私は日本人の変わった人間です。切り口はかなり違う。批判の仕方がかなり違うと思う。中国に対してより本質的なコアなものを批判したいというふうに私は思ってアメリカを作ります。
So my last question for you. Here in Canada, a lot of us are now, we're seeing the overreach in terms of the surveillance that is common in China, which are the face recognition, photography, you're on camera all the time. They have a social credit score, which we think that they're going to try to implement here in Canada, which is really dangerous, because you basically can segment people out of society. Are the Japanese people aware of these dangers of a social credit system over surveillance? Now, in the movie, the main character's wife dies of COVID. Now that was part of the movie, but not all of it. Like here, we're coming to the terms that it was obviously that the virus came from a Wuhan lab. There's many here in North America now being critical of the vaccines. We're seeing that the vaccines may have added to the problem, but Japan seemed a little bit different. Japan, there was scientists that reached out early saying that the vaccine may be as dangerous as the virus as it was. How was COVID received? The mandates from COVID? Did Japan have mandates? And was there resistance to the vaccine after? Nor have we. That's great. So I know you guys got to run, but I wanted to thank you for the movie. It was my pleasure watching. It was fantastic. So I will make sure that I let everyone know, get as many views to that as possible, and I appreciate your courage too, because this film does have ramifications. Unfortunately, we saw a little bit of that last night, but like you said, there's no fear. I mean, you've got to conduct yourself with no fear and have faith. This movie, that's the main point that I got from the movie is to have faith.
もう超えたものは重いというか、そういうものがないっていうのは弱いです。
All right. So God bless. Safe travels, and thank you again for the interview. All right. Oh, all right. So there you go, everyone. I will send the videos from last night from the premiere, but the movie is Love Supreme, a dialogue with Xi Jinping, and it's very truthful. It's very artistic the way it was done. I can't describe it yet. If you have a chance, go see it, and just admire the courage it took these people to make it, because the backlash and what they're getting from CCP faithful is not good. So I will say freedom for now. Freedom.